What have you done with my son?
He's on his way home.
The film opens with a gambler walking to his car, but a stranger suddenly kills him and takes his ledger before leaving. Meanwhile, another assassin breaks into an office, stabbing 2 security guards in the throat. He then kills another gambler by throwing a baseball into his face, steals a ledger, and walks away. The scene then changes to a train station, where a man named Smith is talking to a young man named Nick. Smith tells the story of a man named Max and a gang connected to horse racing. 20 years earlier, horse racing was very popular, and Max heard a rumor that one horse was certain to win. Trusting the rumor, Max borrowed money from the gang to place a bet. He went to the racetrack with his son but told the boy to stay in the car. The son was upset when he discovered his father was gambling. Max tried to comfort him, saying the money would go toward his college tuition. But Max foolishly trusted the rumors, not knowing the race was rigged. The horse he bet on even collapsed in the middle of the track. The bookie warned him that not repaying the Mafia would be very dangerous, yet Max still didn't stop. After the race, Max went back to the parking lot and discovered his car was missing. The Mafia had also taken his son. They tortured Max cruelly before killing him and his wife. Soon after, Smith suddenly stood up from his wheelchair, knocked Nick out, and put him in a truck. The story then moves to a young man named Slevin. While finishing shaving, he heard a loud knock at the front door. Still wearing only a towel, Slevin went to open it and found a young woman named Lindsay. She was surprised at first because she expected to see her friend Nick, the apartment's owner. Slevin noticed that Lindsay sat in a way that made her look taller than she was. She was instantly attracted to his clean and tidy appearance. Curious about his broken nose, Lindsay asked him what happened. Slevin explained that after losing his job, he went to see his girlfriend and found her cheating with another man. Later, Slevin flew to New York to visit his close friend Nick. Right after getting off the plane, he was talking to Nick on the phone when a stranger walked up and asked for a cigarette. Slevin said he didn't smoke, and the man demanded money before punching him in the nose. Lindsay later noted that the mugger didn't take his luggage or even the expensive watch on his wrist. Slevin was impressed by Lindsay's sharp mind and attention to detail. She asked about Nick, and Slevin told her that Nick hadn't arrived yet. Nick was supposed to meet him at the apartment but never showed up. Slevin added that he got in because the door was unlocked. When the phone rang, Slevin picked it up, but the caller hung up right away. Lindsay quickly called the number back, pretending it was a mistake. She then told Slevin the call had come from the Cheval Hotel. Insisting they should find out who it was, she tried again and this time reached the hotel directly. Lindsay worried that Nick might be in danger and thought the anonymous call from the hotel could be an important clue. She was excited about acting like a detective, but because she had to go to work, she rushed out of the apartment. In her hurry, she forgot the bag of sugar she came to get and returned just as Slevin was about to take off his towel. After picking up the sugar, Lindsay invited Slevin to meet her later. When she left, the doorbell rang again. Believing it was her, Slevin quickly opened the door, but instead found 2 thugs working for a man known as the boss. They acted aggressively, mistaking Slevin for Nick. Slevin insisted they had the wrong man, but he couldn't prove it since his wallet had been stolen. The thugs had orders to take whoever was in the apartment, so they didn't care. After punching him in the face, they kidnapped Slevin and forced him into a car. The boss lived in the penthouse of a heavily guarded building and was the leader of a powerful crime organization. While talking to him, Slevin tried to act smart, turning their exchange into a tense game of words. The boss then revealed that Nick owed him $96,000. Since Slevin didn't have the money, the boss gave him an offer. He explained that he once had a beloved son who was killed by a rival criminal known as the Rabbi. Slevin was forced to work for the boss and ordered to kill the rabbi's son. The son, nicknamed the Fairy, was known for being gay. With no other choice, Slevin agreed and left with the thugs. Right after that, the boss spoke with Smith, a hitman, and the truth was revealed. The boss had actually hired Smith to kill the fairy, but planned to let Slevin take the blame. Meanwhile, two men hiding in a truck disguised as a water delivery vehicle took photos of Slevin as he was escorted out. One of them then told the other to contact a detective named Brzezowski. Slevin went back to Nick's apartment. Soon after, Lindsay arrived, planning to take him to the Cheval Hotel to continue their investigation. She knew a hotel employee who could help identify the caller. At that moment, she noticed Slevin reading a newspaper. The front page reported the disappearance of a man named Hopkins, who was ironically suspected of being involved in several other disappearances. The phone in the apartment rang, and Lindsay quickly answered, thinking it was the hotel employee. While she was on the call, Slevin started getting dressed. When he opened the door, two men dressed as Hasidic Jews were there and said that Shlomo wanted to see him. Slevin tried to say he didn't know anyone by that name, but they punched him in the stomach and took him to the rabbi. On the way, Slevin noticed that the boss's building and the rabbi's building were directly across from each other. A thug explained that the two men had once been partners and close friends, but later betrayed each other and tried to kill one another. Since then, neither of them had left their building. Slevin was then brought to meet the rabbi, and their talk turned into another tense game of words. In the end, the rabbi told Slevin he owed $33,000. Slevin tried to explain that they had the wrong man and that Nick was just his friend. But the rabbi gave him only 48 hours to find the money in any way he could. After Slevin was taken out, it was revealed that Smith was working with both sides and secretly helping the rabbi too. The rabbi told Smith he had already sent half of the agreed payment to his account and would pay the rest after the boss was dead. He then asked why Smith needed Slevin, but Smith only said that he and the young man had unfinished business. It became clear that neither the boss nor the rabbi really needed Slevin, but Smith had his own connection to him. The rabbi said he could always recognize a liar and knew the young man was not Nick. Smith just smiled, walked away, and said he already knew that. Later, Slevin went back to the apartment and met Lindsay. She told him she had gone to the hotel where the call had come from. With help from a friend who worked there, she found out the caller was actually Smith. Lindsay had even taken a picture of Smith in the elevator, but Slevin said he didn't recognize him. He then told her everything that had happened to him that day. Later, Slevin met with the boss and agreed to kill the fairy. He asked for a week to do it, but the boss only gave him 3 days. The boss suggested playing a game of chess with Slevin. If Slevin won, he would get a week to kill the fairy. If he lost, he would still have only 3 days. During the game, the boss explained that the fairy was protected by highly skilled bodyguards. All of them wore veterans. She also wore a special charm around her neck. If she pressed the button on it, an alarm would go off and guards would reach her apartment in just 5 seconds. Meanwhile, it was revealed that Smith was directly involved in the plan and was the one behind Nick's debt. In reality, Smith planned to kill both Slevin and the fairy and make it look like a double suicide. In the end, Slevin lost the chess game and was left with only 3 days to finish the job. As he walked out of the building, a group of detectives in a minivan spotted him. They had been searching for Nick, so they were confused to see Slevin since they didn't know who he was. At the same time, the detectives also learned that a hitman named Goodcat had returned to town, so they needed to stay alert for him as well. When Slevin came back home, Lindsay revealed that she worked at the morgue and had found the body of the rabbi's bookie. Detective Brzezowski was also there and said he used to gamble with the murdered man. Lindsay believed Nick had escaped and set up Slevin. She thought Nick had paid a stranger to steal Slevin's wallet and documents. Lindsay insisted that Nick killed the two bookies because they were the only ones who could identify him. After that, she said she needed to return to work but invited Slevin to dinner. That evening, while they were eating at a restaurant, Slevin noticed the fairy was there too. When she went to the bathroom, Slevin followed her. Detective Brzezowski followed Slevin, but Slevin managed to lock the door behind him. After dinner, Slevin told Lindsay that he had pretended to be gay to arrange a meeting with the fairy. He also revealed that Bukowski had confronted him in the bathroom. During that encounter, the detective explained that his mission was to catch Nick, but Nick had already disappeared. Still, Bukowski suspected there was a link between Rabbi, Smith, and Slevin. Later, Lindsay and Slevin went home and spent the night together. The next day, when Slevin left the house, detectives arrested him. He gave them his full name, and since they found no connection to the case, they released him. Later, one of the boss's men brought Slevin a suit and took him to meet the ferry. Outside, the rabbi's henchman was found dead in a car. Slevin went into the ferry's apartment and quickly shot him in the stomach. Just then, Smith appeared and shot the ferry in the head instead of killing Slevin. Slevin wasn't surprised, certain that he and Smith had been working together from the start. He then went to a car and pulled a dead body from the trunk. At the same time, Smith crushed the ferry's protective charm in his hand. Suddenly, guards burst through the wall, but Smith quickly shot them all with 2 silenced pistols. Finally, Slevin placed the man's body next to the ferry's corpse. It is then revealed that the dead man was actually Nick, the one Smith attacked at the start of the film. Soon after, Smith and Slevin blew up the entire apartment. They then went to the boss, killing his henchman in the elevator on the way. While Smith went in to confront the boss, Slevin visited the rabbi to settle his $33,000 debt. When the rabbi opened the briefcase, he saw it was empty. At that moment, Slevin hit him hard on the head and knocked him out. In the next scene, both the boss and the rabbi woke up tied to chairs. Slevin then appeared and revealed a shocking truth. The boss and the rabbi were the ones who killed Max, and Slevin was actually Henry, Max's son. Smith turned out to be a hitman who had taken in young Henry and raised him after facing a moral choice. Slevin revealed that he and Smith were the ones who killed the bookies and stole the ledger. They later killed Nick and used his identity after learning he owed money to both the boss and the rabbi. For revenge, Slevin killed the boss's son and set things up so the boss would hire Smith to kill the rabbi's son. Smith got the job to kill the boss's ferry and made a deal with the rabbi to protect him, as long as both men cleared Nick's debts. This allowed Slevin and Smith full access to the gang's tight security. After revealing who he really was, Slevin put plastic bags over the rabbi's and the boss's heads, suffocating them the same way they had killed his father. Later, it is revealed that Smith killed Lindsay because she took his photo. While looking for Slevin, Bukowski got a call from his boss and learned where Slevin's name came from. The horse Slevin's father once bet on was called Lucky Number Slevin, and the Hebrew word kalevra means bad dog, which was also Smith's nickname. Bukowski was killed when Slevin suddenly jumped from the back seat and shot him, finishing his revenge. At the train station, Slevin met Lindsay again, while Smith admitted he had once told Slevin to kill her because she had a photo of him. The truth was revealed. Slevin had already told Lindsay who he really was and helped her fake her death. He also told Smith that she must be spared. Smith agreed and let her live. Before leaving, he gave back Slevin's father's old watch. That's how the film ends. Thank you for watching.